The difference between Bill Murray and Heavy D, the rapper. Yeah, so I was just reminiscing on a memory that I'll share with you, brothers and you sisters that watch my videos. Now, this was years ago. Elder Apostle Tahar used to have what is called an oil table. This is incense and oils. And myself and Elder Apostle Rakar used to sell oils and incense for him. And what he would do was the money we would make, he would give us a percentage of it. And pretty much back then, that was our daily bread. And sometimes when we did good on the tables, Elder Apostle would piece us off nicely. And we weren't complaining about that, man, because we had money to buy food and stuff like that. This is going back to the early 90s, 1990s. So we had a spot in Manhattan, 86th Street. And at that time, there was a store. I believe the store was called The Wiz, which was an electronic store. As a matter of fact, some of you may remember the song by Biz Markie. Those of you, especially those of you from the tri-state area, and those of you individuals out there that are rap aficionados, what they call the golden age of rap. Now, there was a song by Biz Markie called Nobody Beats the Biz. Well, that was a take from the commercials at that time that was being showed in the New York area, particularly the tri-state area, of this company, electronic company that sold electronic goods like TVs and stereos and stuff, called The Wiz. So that's where that title of the song by Biz Markie, Nobody Beats the Biz, came from. The tagline of the commercial, Nobody Beats the Wiz, as in their prices. So now you know. So around 86th Street, where we had our table set up, I believe the store was called The Wiz. And guess who happened to show up that certain day? We were out there selling oils. None other than Bill Murray, the actor Bill Murray, the guy you see here. Of course, he was a lot younger back then. This is the early 90s. So he goes to the store. I believe when he came back out, now Elder Pastor says he was with a Ephraimite woman. I guess he was dating at that time. And I believe when he came back out, it was Elder Pastor, myself, and Elder Pastor Rakar. And we struck up a conversation with him. That dude was cool as a fan. I'm telling you, that dude, Bill Murray, was smooth. He was cool as a fan. There's no doubt in my mind that dude's a Jake. So I could see why he got up with Kelis. And, we were talking to him, Elder Apostle Rakar. He was a little starstruck. He asked Bill Murray about, at that time, this is the early 90s, he asked Bill Murray about, what about Ghostbusters? I think, he asked him about Ghostbusters, another Ghostbusters movie. It couldn't have been Ghostbusters 2 because that already had came out already, I believe. So it was, he asked Bill Murray, are you guys going to do another Ghostbusters? And I forgot the exact answer Bill Murray gave him, right? Now, keep in mind, right, he's talking to us, Bill Murray, and he didn't have to do what he did, which is this dude, Bill Murray, bought $40. Now, back then, $40 is a little piece of money, $40. This is the early 90s. He bought $40 worth of oils. I don't know if he bought incense. I believe he might have, but he bought $40 worth of oils and incense from our table. Elder Pastor was there. I myself was there. Elder Pastor Rakar was there. Plus, we had a pleasant conversation with the dude, Bill Murray, the actor you see here. And if he were to meet us, he'd probably remember us. Okay, Bill Murray. And we were surprised. I mean, I remember thinking, damn, he's going to buy all this stuff? Wow. You know, from us. He didn't have to. He just patronized us. Right? So all I got to say about Bill Murray is this. From the experience we had with him, that dude is cool as a fan. As a fan. He's cool as a fan, like they say. Okay? Cool dude. Now, in contrast to Heavy D now. Now, this happened to me. Maybe I didn't have all the charm that Elder Pastor and Elder Pastor Ricard has. Maybe I need to work on my charm. But this happened to me when I was down. Again, I was selling oils. I believe it was for Elder Pastor, selling oils on his table. Because, I had a table of my own, which my demon got into my head. And that's another story for another time. She convinced me to get my own table because, her thing was, no, we're not making enough money, blah, blah, blah. And the pressure was getting to me. And I did it. I caved in. I got weak. And I did it wrongfully. And I totally admit that, But that's another video for another time. Maybe Spirit jump on me. Maybe I'll go into it. But this is one of the reasons why I decided to be solo, I'll deal with a woman, but I ain't trying to have no relationship. But anyway, so this took place in the village. There was a papaya hot dog spot. I believe it's West 4th. Some of you may remember. Some of you know about New York, particularly Manhattan. You may know where that spot was, or if it's still there. I believe it's still there. Papaya hot dog spot. And this was West 4th. And I'm out there by myself and selling oils. And who comes up? Well, he didn't come up. He's walking by. He had a little entourage with him, a few dudes with him. And I recognized the guy. I said, oh, that's Heavy D. So he's walking by, looking all proud and shit. I got to say, looking like a nigger, okay? He had the spirit of a nigger on him. So I go, hey, Heavy D, hey, would you like to buy an oil, man? Would you like to? You know what he said to me? He took one look and he looked at me like I was dirt on the side of the road. And he goes, I know all about that, cuz. I know all about that, cuz. And he just kept walking. Yeah. That's probably one of the reasons why he's taking the dirt nap. Maybe if he would have bought an oil from me, it had to be at Pastor table. Maybe if he would have bought an oil from the table, the Most High would have had mercy on him. Worshipping Buddha and shit. Really, nigga? You a nigga from the ghetto worshipping Buddha? What the fuck you know about Buddha? But this is what happens when niggas get, a nigga. This is what happens when they get high up in society, so-called. You know the old saying, you could take a nigga into high society, but you can't take I'm fucking it up. You can take, how's it go? Damn, I'm messing it up, man. Forgive me. In other words, you can't take the nigga out of a nigga. If he's a nigga, he's just gonna be a nigga. And what the word nigga is really what do you call it? Is the word colloquialism? Let me see. For the word niggard, which means a low, despicable person. I believe it's a colloquialism. Yeah, there it is.
Colloquial.
Colloquial. That's the word. Of language used in ordinary or familiar conversation, not formal or literary, right? So that's where the word nigger, that's where the word nigger comes into being. It's a colloquial language, okay? But it actually derives from the correct word, the formal word, niggard, niggard, which means a low, despicable person. Because nigger, in reality, nigger is from the Latin meaning black. So when someone calls you, oh, that's a nigger, meaning a person with no scruples, morals, a low-life person. That's what depends on how they say it. Oh, that's a nigger. Well, it actually goes back to niggard. There you go.
Niggardly.
Meaning ungenerous, stingy. And that's exactly what Heavy D was when he walked by. He had a ungenerous, stingy spirit. He could have patronized me. He could have just buy an oil. I would have been happy with that. You know, the oils we had were $5 a pop. Come on, $5? But I'm telling you, I'll never forget it. The way he looked at, he gave me that look like I was shit on the side of the road. And he's all proud. I know all about that, cuz. I know all about that. I didn't ask you that. I asked you, would you like to buy an oil? I didn't ask you if you knew all about it. But that's the difference between my man Bill Murray with class, who had class. He was a class act. I don't give a fuck if any of you don't like it. We met him. We know. Okay? He was a class act in comparison to fucking Heavy D. All right? How do I know? Because it happened to me. That's how I know. So, on that note, hey, he's porking Kelis. I ain't got no problem with it. I mean, what the hell is Kelis anyway? She ain't nothing but a jump off. Come on. A no talent jump off. But Bill Murray's probably the best thing that's happening to her right now. So if he's porking her, who gives a shit? Everybody making a big deal about it. But Bill Murray is definitely a Jake, man. All right? So, on to the next video.